live. We're not live yet.
No, because you got one more button.
I got one more button to press, and that's the go live button.
Yeah.
And that's how you can tell
Yep.
that we've gone live.
Yep.
Because you hit go live.
Because I hit the go live
And
button.
then we all get the notification that we've
notification.
gone live.
Mm-hmm.
So then I could go, True Believers, welcome to another episode. A rousing episode.
An arousing episode.
Wow.
Yeah. Just one of them episodes. It's going to be interesting.
It's got to be something.
Somebody's probably going to end up yelling at somebody by the end of it, I have a feeling.
Oh, I put that in the notes.
It's fair. We, of course, are the Professional Casual Network presents Wait, Did I Roll a Wild? A Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog, your sixth favorite card reading show out there on YouTube. It might be seventh. There might have been a new one that started up.
Still, we're the side chick of your Marvel Crisis Protocol experience.
It's accurate. It's accurate.
I love that new line.
We're okay with that. You know what I mean?
Perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, we don't need to be here every day. But listen, you're going to lie to your main show and hit us up on the weekends. And when your main show pisses you off, I expect a DM.
Yep. Absolutely. We get to go on the boat more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're their boat chicks.
That's very accurate.
Yeah. Love a good boat. I, of course, am the guy who sits in this chair. And boat enthusiast. Check. I'm joined once again by the CEO, Editor-in-Chief, Supreme Ruler, and Reptilian Overlord of the Professional Casual Network. Tim.
Oh, that's me.
That's you. Nice hat.
Hey, thanks, man. It's from our sponsor, Rep
Yeah.
Sports,
Yeah.
home of Raise Energy.
reppsports.com. Use promo code Professional Casual, all one word at checkout. Get yourself 15% off your order. It's actually really good energy drinks. They also have a ton of energy supplements, sleep supplements, and pre-workout, kind of whatever you need. It's a delight.
I need to try their pre-workout because I have been dragging lately and I just cannot get the motivation to work out. I think if I had a pre-workout and I was like, and all tingly, then I'd actually do it.
Yeah, if you want to rip a door off a Planet Fitness and then murder 3 people in the process, I highly recommend it.
The amazing thing is
the
that
first part of that
is that they had automatic doors too. I don't know if you know how difficult it is to rip one of those bad boys off.
Oh, man, I can imagine.
Yeah,
That's true.
very easy on
Raise
Energy.
Yeah.
pre-workout.
And of course, finally back after his sabbatical, the no longer saddest boy in the room, Dan Cole. Dan.
Hi. It's been a minute since I've been on this show.
Yeah, I think collectively, both Tim and I would like to say we're sorry. But also, you didn't get Ice Man.
Oh, I didn't know what it was about. Now I am sad. I was so convinced that last stream with Chick painting, because it said chill with Chick, was going to be like an extra review.
You should know better. You never get the things you want out of life, Dan.
It's so true in certain circles.
I mean, come on.
That's the trope of Dan Cole.
Yeah.
Never gets what he wants.
Oh. Of course. This is going to be a hell of an episode. Head over to patreon.com/professional casual. For as little as $1, you can help support our show. You give it to everybody else. Why don't you also give it to us? And you get access to our Discord, which is a really hopping Discord where we're in there all the time chatting it up about not just MCP, Marvel Crisis Protocol, but everything else here at the Professional Casual Network. Head over to professionalcasual.com to check out all the shows that we offer. If you like actual live plays, if you like Tim and I screaming at each other, there's a show for everybody.
Yeah, very accurate.
Yep.
Even just added an NFL channel on the
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't.
the
I
Discord.
Actually, we rebranded the Coco Melon channel.
I like how
oh,
Taylor,
because nobody was reading it.
Yeah, I may have made
three
it private
posts.
when I first put it up because it was during a recording and
Right.
I was doing it quick and didn't realize that for a couple months.
Fair.
the best part of the NFL channel is that Taylor immediately subverted it into the Newfoundland Facts channel.
Yes.
I thought
My coworker just got back from Newfoundland.
was clever of him. I appreciated it.
Shout out to Newfoundland. Wildest accents I've ever heard in a hockey team.
Mhm.
Good stuff. Shout out to Leonard Kenny. Guys, you maybe played a game. I don't remember. Time's relative at this point for me. What happened? What have you guys been doing this week?
So,
Anything?
yeah, we had a pretty good game actually.
It was a solid game.
Low scoring to start.
Oh, we didn't get to 16.
No. Yeah, we actually went all 6 rounds, and it ended based on just point total instead of someone reaching 16.
And it would have been for tabling, if not for Ghost Rider. Mm-hmm. Just being able to come back. Bloop.
So we played the 3rd mission of the Empirical event.
Okay.
This time we decided to mix it up and remember our special abilities for being magicians and empirical.
I'll be totally honest, that doesn't seem very on brand for you guys, but okay.
So, fair.
Yeah.
So I was playing magicians. Dan was playing empirical. I had been playing Guardians of the Galaxy. Dan played Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Of Mutants.
Freedom Force.
The Freedom Force affiliation. And the setup of the crisis that we were playing, it was 16 threat. And there was 4 wildfires in like a diagonal pattern across the board.
Okay.
While you were securing it, if you did damage to someone else, you incinerated them. But during the power phase, you took a damage for contesting it.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
There was also 4 weapons of destiny. What they did when you picked it up is you rolled a die, and based on what you rolled, it got a permanent buff that either increased your physical, energy, or mystic attacks by 2 dice for every attack,
Ooh.
or gave the character that picked it up full power.
10 power. Boom.
Yep.
Oh my god.
You brought them to 10.
Gross.
And it was a solid game of back and forth. One of the effectively my favorite thing that happened. I was pretty nervous about Ghost Rider. Mm-hmm. One of the magician talents that you could take was when an opponent spends power, you can use this ability once a game, and they take the amount of damage to the power they used.
Okay.
So I knew my target for that was going to be Ghost Rider and his penance stare. And Seth Rogen is back this week.
I just saw that comment. Thanks.
But he first activation of round 2, he got priority. I had it at the start, switched to him. He activated Ghost Rider, tried to penance stare, I think Rocket or Groot. And I was able to daze him right there by using that power. Was super happy that went off, and it set me up to a really nice early lead.
That was like game deciding right there, taking him out so soon. And it was the fact that I had priority. It was my first action. I didn't do anything else. Tried to pen and stare, dazed. Because he had taken a little bit of damage the first round.
Yep.
From some plinking on him. And I was like, I'm going to just wreck Groot here, because I was going to roll like 12 dice.
Yeah.
Because he had picked up a weapon, he had gotten a bonus to his mystic attacks, and then it would have been 12 dice.
And he was attacking Groot with 2 power, so it was a substantial amount.
It would have been disgusting. And then I want to follow it up with a chain to definitely daze Groot, and then Rocket would have been easy pickings.
Yep.
That did not happen. It took forever to do anything to Rocket because Groot kept bodyguarding him and then healing it anyway. He's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
I hate it when you play Groot.
I adore it. He's so good. He had a mustache. It was pretty great.
Yeah.
So we actually did roll some pretty lucky stuff. He rolled the penance stare on Ghost Rider the first time he picked up a weapon of destiny. He rolled energy the second time, so Ghost Rider was constantly like doing incredible things when he was able to attack. My Rocket rolled the 2 extra dice on energy attacks as well.
Was so good.
So like I never got Deadly Duo off, but he was still just plinking away people at 7 strength energy attacks the whole game. Quicksilver got the physical one right out of the gate. There was
nice.
There was a lot of like just really rad stuff happening in that particular
I think
skirmish.
Your best activations I felt like were when Rocket was like, "Oh yeah, there's Toad over there," because Ghost Rider is already dazed, and he just like snipes Toad. One round, one shot, dazes him. Next round, Rocket goes before Toad, shoots him again, KOs him. Just Toad didn't stand a chance. He was just a sitting duck.
Poor Toad too, because the only reason I was targeting him was because he had Mysterio and Mystique out there.
He's your only target.
And they both had stealth, and I was too far away, so I was like, whatever, I guess I'll shoot Toad and just obliterate him from the board.
He just there's nothing he could do, because every round I had priority because you had more characters and you were dazing my guys too quick. And I felt like I had to go with Ghost Rider first every round.
Yeah.
Just because of his damage output, and he was always in danger of dying after right away with that ability.
Yeah. I flipped him 3 times.
Yes.
Okay.
So I kept starting with Ghost Rider, which left other people a bit open to that. But yeah, Rocket was just the turret
Just Ray Park to Toad, huh?
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a shame.
But
But
Mysterio was awesome. I
Mysterio
liked
was
him a
super
lot.
rad. Yeah.
He was really cool.
He's-
Pushing Groot around to get him away from Bodyguard was nice. I forgot he had to push, so I did his curtain call attack once, and you like, blocked it all. And then I was like, oh yeah, this just pushes. I should have just done that the first time. And then I pushed him away from Rocket. I was like, now I can actually hit Rocket that has the thing on him and doing all this damage.
Yeah. But it was the interesting thing about that crisis was the only way that you could get victory points for the Weapons of Destiny, which was what is that? Not secure.
Extract.
The extract portion of that particular special edition thing. You only got victory points in the cleanup phase if you, with a Weapon of Destiny, attacked another character with a Weapon of Destiny and did damage.
Yeah.
You did not get victory points for just holding it. So the first, I think maybe 2 rounds, 3 rounds, maybe. I don't think anyone scored any victory points from that. It was only from securing the wildfires.
The only time I scored points from that was like round 5 or 6. I think it was round 5 when Ghost Rider hit 2 different people. That I think he attacked Drax once and then Star-Lord once.
Yeah.
And did damage to both of them because he got them both down to 1, of course. And then he got some victory points there. So he did better than I kind of expected him to. He was a powerhouse that game.
Yeah.
Outside of the freak special rule from it. If it would have been a standard game, I think he would have been even better.
Yeah.
Or he definitely would have been even better. I love these little things they put out during conventions and whatnot, that it breaks the standard way of playing where that rule was broken for that particular instance. But I had some busted ones too. I could once per game choose a character and all enemy characters within 2 got staggered.
Yeah.
Which would have been great if you didn't have the perfect Tactics card to counter that.
Yeah. So, and I did feel that where I didn't feel the Magician ones were particularly powerful. There was a couple, because I played them in 2 different games, and one of them was once a round you can use your Mystic defense in place of whatever normal defense you would use to defend against that particular attack. And for Guardians, their Mystic defense is almost always lower or equal to all of their other defenses. So I was like, I can't use this at all here. While when I used it the first time was with Defenders, where their Mystic defense was actually normally pretty high. And I had Jean Grey in that particular squad, so it ended up turning out to be something, well, I'll just use it on Jean each turn. If she ever gets attacked, she'll be rolling 5 instead of whatever she would normally be rolling.
It's a good move.
But overall, I thought the Empirical event was super fun. Having a crisis in there that was 22 threat was awesome.
That was
to be
really
able
neat.
to play. Yeah.
I wish I had gotten to play that one, but it was fun.
It's
to
only
watch.
a matter of time before I think we start seeing 22, 24, and then maybe even lower, going down to as far as 13, 12, and 11.
The curve
That'd be
of the
nuts.
characters that they're coming out with, I feel like, has certainly decreased. Like, I feel like 4s are becoming kind of a little bit more rare. Like, they're really kind of being careful with what they make a 4. Everything's been like 3s and 5s.
Because they've been making 4s and then just turning them into 5s, or making 6s and then turning them into 5s, or making 2s and making them 5s, or making 5s and then turning them into 2s.
To be fair, we haven't seen any 2s that have turned into 5s, specifically because I don't believe there are any 2s that have immunity to poison. So
Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula.
Oh yeah.
Come on, get good, nerd.
Listen, I don't read.
I had a
memoirs.
14-year-old on Fortnite tell me that one time. So that's cool. I'm
Yeah.
happy for you guys. I miss playing this game.
Yeah.
I was really excited
Happening.
about October break coming up for my job, and then I was told that I was still gonna have to work.
Oh,
Instead, yeah, and I was like, "Well, is it going to be like a short?" They're like short schedule, and I was like, "Sweet, I'll be out by like 6, 7." They go, "No, 11." I was like, "All right, that's cool."
Do you have to work on Columbus Day?
Yep, till 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was specifically the day that you were mentioning.
Yeah, I was really
Gotcha.
happy about it. And it's cool. I guess I get to go home and then sit around for 3 hours before I actually get to go to bed again. you
Yeah.
know? Working overnights is neat. Hobby stuff. You guys paint up all those models you didn't get yet, or?
So
I finished Mysterio. Well, mostly finished Mysterio for the stream. I got to finish up his cape, but
he's got to go back to Beck.
What's what?
You got to go back to Beck
Back to Beck.
for a bit.
Otherwise, he was really fun to paint. I liked him, but right now the cape's just plain purple. I still have Amazing Spider-Man to finish up. I haven't gotten around to him yet.
So I keep seeing people on some of the groups refer to Amazing Spider-Man as ASM, and that tracks. That makes sense. That is an acronym for his name. But I was looking at some lists and some data on some things and had no idea what it meant, and sat there staring at it for like 15 minutes, being like, ASM, ASM. Avengers with Sam and no.
Sam and War Machine.
Sam and MODOK, maybe? Is that a thing? And I'm like Googling Sam spam with MODOK and just nothing was coming up. And I was like, oh, Amazing Spider-Man! Oh, that makes sense.
Is Mitch in the chat? No. Mitch didn't join us this week? Oh, I was going to show him pictures. I got some stuff done. I was very proud of myself.
What'd you get done? What'd you do?
Well, I took photos of the alt stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it this way. So there's my Hydra Stomper.
Oh, your Hydra Stomper looks baller as hell. Too.
I like you. You did a really nice job on that one.
Yeah. Shout out to Speaks with Wind, who I think thought I was targeting him personally, and I wasn't. I was targeting you personally, Tim. Being the elite hobbyist that you are now. Scrag Brown, I believe, is the name from Citadel.
Yeah.
Is like makes a really good wash over greens.
Well, I could.
I'm a big fan of kind of working that in now.
Works really well in the recesses of what you have there on the Hydra Stomper. I think that really makes it pop.
Yeah, and it helps kind of put that shade in. There's my Peggy Carter. Yeah, see. Yeah, we could probably figure out a way to do this, but we're not going to. And then Throg. We got Throg finally done.
I love that you have a Throg model.
Yes.
And then I proceeded to, I think, cause Tim to have an aneurysm because I did some live streaming last week.
So what happened is every time you randomly stream on a Saturday night at 3 a.m.,
Yep.
I wake up the next morning and it says, your mobile dashboard. And I was like, oh, someone must be streaming. And I go to it and it says, you're offline. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I move on with my day.
Yeah, it's me. But I also messed with the settings in our Streamlabs a little too hard
Yeah.
because I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. In my defense, you should have been up. You know what I mean? Like,
Fair.
you know? But I painted Carnage.
Nice.
Got
Yeah.
Carnage painted up. I just got to finish the base on Carnage, and I got I did Viper because I was just like, I need something. Like I'm gonna get her done. She's been sitting on my desk for a while. I wanted to paint her like Jade.
From Mortal Kombat?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Jinx.
From Mortal Kombat?
No.
From League of Legends?
No, from G.I. Joe.
Oh.
She was the female Red Ninja from G.I. Joe.
Right. She was like his apprentice, right?
Yeah, Snake Eyes' apprentice for a hot minute, and then she, at one point, jumps, and then she jumps back. She does a lot of jumping. She's
Jinx
also
from Pokemon?
yes, and then also she was like blind for a hot minute, so she had like a band around her face.
In the movie, she was blind, right? The original G.I. Joe, the movie.
Yes. Yep.
That's how I remember her.
And then
bitty
but I wanted to do some modifications so it fit Viper's suit just a little bit better. Anyway, so I made Mrs. Impossible by the time I was done by accident.
Oh, she was dummy thick?
Yeah, yep, pretty much.
All right.
Black gloves, black boots, red suit with a accidental yellow belt. Yeah, I was like, now I can't unsee it.
Now you have to paint that blast mask on her, too.
I did do the band across the eyes.
Yeah.
But it did help a little bit, but not really. Anyway, so she's done. A character I will probably run once or twice until they
she's
do something with her.
not great.
Give her some tactics cards to make her a little bit better. She's not bad, but she definitely should be a 2, I think.
My experiences with her are just she moves up and then dies. That's all that happened.
Yeah, so...
And then I think you used her against Danny one time, and Danny just totally disrespected her, and Hella was just like, "You're done."
Yeah,
I wear green.
That was
here.
the time I found out Hella was a character.
Yeah.
That blew people up from the inside.
I don't. Yeah, I'm still because I was. Our segment tonight is going to be some wild speculation and what we'd like to see.
Yeah.
And I was looking over the Hella card. I was like, oh, nobody ever takes Hella. I'll take a look at her. I don't other than maybe beefing her up on her injured side because she's a 6'4", for stamina.
She goes down to 4?
Yeah, she goes down to 4. So
Yeah.
beefing her up to maybe a 6'5", but otherwise she's such a solid character. Give her flight, I guess. Maybe is the only other thing I could see.
To give who?
Hella flight.
Oh, Hella. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, Viper can't fly.
No, Hella.
I was like, who do you think he was talking about?
I don't know, man. I just work here.
Yeah, he just works there. And I got Carnage done. So I'm really excited about running Carnage because I've been reading the Total Carnage series, and I'm really excited about getting Carnage out there.
The newer event?
Yeah, well, it was the lead up to King in Black or whatever it's called,
yeah.
which is Null showing up because Carnage was going nuts, trying to make it.
Oh, lots
Also,
of symbiote stuff in the last
Secret
couple
Origin
years.
and Gore the God Butcher, the main, potentially one of the villains in the next Thor movie.
Yeah.
He also had the Necrosword for a little bit.
Yep.
After finding Null.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I like Gore,
Yeah,
the God Butcher.
yeah. You think we'll get him?
You know, yeah,
Probably.
Maybe.
potentially.
I don't know enough about him. Like, all I know is in the movies being played by Christian Bale, and apparently he was pretty awesome in that event.
He's baller as hell in that event, and he's like one of the primary reasons Thor became unworthy.
I gotta read that bit on Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
Run. It seems like a super cool story that I don't know why I'd never gotten around to.
It was like, granted, I never really gave two craps about Thor in any way, shape, or form until Thor Ragnarok came out. But
Fair.
yeah,
Oh wow, that is not what I was expecting him to look like.
no, he looks like a
He looks like Ebony Maw.
yeah,
Yeah.
a naked Ebony Maw
Yeah.
in a Spirit Halloween black cape.
Yep, pretty much. Interesting. All right. Yeah, he's kind of dope.
Oh, it's got 2 R's.
That could be interesting to see. So we didn't get any news.
Zero news.
Yeah, you apparently asked for enough photos of Dallas, and he just stops replying to your messages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But we decided. Look, they're going over the next 50, or they are going over the first 50.
Through the first 50.
First 50, and possibly making some changes to stuff. And if there's nothing people love more, it's wild speculation. I know I do.
It's our specialty.
Every
Yeah.
week in the group chat,
Yep.
you talk about actually how much you really like wild speculation
Yeah, I'm
episodes.
a big fan of that. But I think it'd be kind of fun. Let's go over some characters that we would like to see changed. One thing that we do know is not getting changed is Dr. Octopus. They put a thing out, I believe it was on one of their streams.
Yeah.
They said Dr. Octopus is not getting modified in any way or changed. And that's because they kind of already released that foil card.
Yeah.
It would have kind of been silly.
Or the Spider-Man from the chorus set. They said he's also not getting.
Which is a shame.
Yeah.
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 It's disappointing.
It would have been cool. I mean, again, like
something.
you had said, Tim, pronouns, pal. If they had included updated cards in that set or something like that, you would have been super mad because then you would have felt obligated to buy it. So I guess okay in the long run. I know for us, we said Korvac Spider-Man just drop into a 3 and he's fine.
Yeah.
I think for Dr. Octopus, the only so let's go over Dr. Octopus's card just real fast because I don't remember him being this good.
Yeah.
He's a 3 threat, 5 stamina, 6 stamina when he flips, so he's kind of the opposite of most villains, which I thought was interesting. Medium move. I apparently don't remember that either. 4-3-4 on defenses. The dude is built like a brick house.
Yes.
For a 3. He's size 2. He's got a strike that is a 4 strength, but range 3.
Yep.
I think that's perfectly fine for a 3. And Wild's count is 2 successes.
Yep.
So
a
totally reasonable.
Yeah.
I think. And then he has laser arms that doesn't need line of sight. It's range 4, strength 6, 3 power. They don't benefit from cover, ignores line of sight, and he gets pierce on a wild. Of course, then he has his size 2 throw of enemy characters or terrain feature thrown small within range 3 of them. I mean, range 3 is pretty huge in comparison to range 2, so I'm okay with it.
It drives me crazy that he can grab things range 3 away, but he can only throw it short. Like, why can't he at least throw it as far as he can grab it from?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm okay with it. I mean, because like otherwise, too many characters have too many good throws. You know what I mean? And it kind of makes sense. Like he only ever throws things that are kind of only the size of. Like he wasn't really known for throwing giant things. I guess a car. He did throw a car, didn't he?
Yeah, but like he could, but just the fact that he can grab it and then not throw it as far as he could reach seems silly. But I do really like scientific hubris. If you rolled at least one crit every time you roll dice, he gains a power. That's pretty nice. If you do want to spend it on that, because he only has 2 things to spend power on anyway: his throw or arm lasers. And if you're out of actions, that throw can come in handy. But I do really like that you can throw characters with it, so that's a bonus.
And I think that's the trade-off, right? Is that it's enemy character or train feature. Personally, I'm fine with the throw. I don't think anything needs to get changed with it. And then he has scientific hubris. Whenever this character rolls dice, after the attack is resolved, 1 power if he rolled at least 1 critical.
Yeah.
So he does have a nice little power generation. Wall crawler as well. The biggest thing that I think I would have liked to have seen added to this, and to limited it a little bit, to make it kind of the same but different, is him being able to interact with things at range 2.
Yeah.
But only works on like tokens that are like from the extracts, right? So it's like people or objects that he can pick up. So it's limited. It costs whatever the same that Toad gets to do it for.
I believe it's an innate.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can interact. He can't secure from 2 away, but interact from 2.
Right.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I
makes
think
a lot of
that's-
sense.
I think that's a great.
Which would make a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what he was all picking stuff up, hucking stuff and
I would
grabbing
love
stuff.
to see that added to him.
Yeah.
for sure.
And then, but also just to make it a little bit more balanced, because he's a 3, make it cost 2 to do it, or make it cost 2 and have him be able to do it within range 3, which
Yeah.
I think would be super awesome. Because then you still have the limitation of it being limited to extractions, not secures. So.
I love that he picks it up from so far away. Whoop.
Yeah, I think so very legitimate. I think that's a solid change that I didn't think of, and he just needs something else on the card. There's
Right.
a lot of blank space there, and they need to fill that in.
Yeah, I mean, when they turn that sumbitch sideways, they're going to be in trouble. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's going to be a lot of room there.
Yeah.
So I
if
would
they
have
made
liked
a
to see-
strike a 5, I don't think that'd be the worst thing in the world. Or made arm lasers cost 2.
I do think arm lasers is a little pricey at 3, but it is range 4 with
So that's-
6 dice. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, I think arm lasers is fine. The thing with like, because he gets extra successes that I feel like it would be because it is a builder.
Yeah.
Having it strength 5 might be just a little too much to creep him into 4 territory
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
builder.
Last time I
specifically.
fought Dr. Octopus, that flurry of arms was disgusting.
Yeah,
You
when
rolled
it works.
Yeah.
when you roll 2 wilds, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, he just got 6 hits on 4 dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't run Doc Ock more. Because I really did. Well, I do know why. Because I had a Black Dwarf yeeted into him one time, and it just has always sat bad with me
Yeah.
ever since. So,
But he's one of those characters that I feel like I feel he very much needs a tweak. He doesn't need an overhaul.
No.
Just a tweak. He needs one more ability. I really like the interact from 2, and that fits thematically and narratively incredibly well, and makes him a very nice kind of niche piece.
yeah, makes him a really good control.
Yeah. And the other thing I could see is maybe a 2-power short movement.
I was just thinking some kind of extra movement from the arms.
Or like a place from the arms or something like that, I think would be cool. Or potentially the throw. The throw is both lackluster and not lackluster to me because it is from 3 away. That does kind of boost it up quite a bit for me, just personally. But yeah, there's just I think honestly what you've said is kind of perfect for him.
I agree. All right, let's go around the table. Dan, who'd you pick?
So I go with I think might be a hot take for a lot of people. So I think Okoye needs to be toned down.
Dumb. Next.
I think the fact that she is consistently the top 2 of the characters taken in these VTT leagues at a competitive level that she's got too much going on for a 2.
Excuse me, but she dropped 7% in how often that she was taken.
Right, she's just
From season 5 to 6.
from 70% to 63%.
It was high to still high.
Right,
Yeah.
and there's something she is clearly too good as a 2, and I think she just needs a slight tweak downward. Where I think she just has too much going on for a 2. She's got bodyguard, awesome. That it's so good. General Ladora Melage, like she gets to reroll 1 attack and defense rolls. I constantly forget she has that.
Yeah.
And then also martial artist, like on top of good attacks, like her attacks are decent for a 3 threat. Like, oh yes, she has 4 and 4 for stamina, but then her defenses are average 3-3-3. Like, I think she just has too much going on for a 2. I think something needs to either be toned down a tiny bit or maybe make her bodyguard cost 3. I would love to see her defense, maybe her defenses change to 3-2-2, because she's a normal person. She doesn't have any superpowers. Keep physical at 3 because she's a frontline fighter.
Yep.
You know, represent her dodging out of the way and taking hits, but like, yeah, she's got some armor, but like it's never been anything about her armor being special to really protect her that much to give her 3 energy defense. And then 3 mental defense is just kind of like, I think she just has too much happening for a 2. Something needs to be toned down.
What do you mean? She was willing to kill her husband in the name of the king. That is the most strong-willed woman I've ever met.
That's a really good argument.
You know what I mean? Like,
But for
come on.
game balance,
Yeah, there's not a lot of wives here at the network that are willing to kill their husbands
exactly.
for arbitrary reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
I maybe bodyguard costing 2, or the General the Dora Melage being a little less, something to tone that down. Maybe once per turn you can reroll 1 of those or something like that. I just think it's too much.
Yeah, easy fix. You either lower that energy or that power cost of the bodyguard up. Did I say lower? I meant up. Raise it up to 3, or lower the range that she has to be within range 1. Easiest fix.
I like the idea of being range 1. Range 2 kind of makes sense too, because she could like propel herself with the spear and jump over there quick. But yeah, I think that her bodyguard is the main reason people take her, because she's only 2 threat. She could take some hits. You don't take her for offensive abilities, even though they're not bad by any means.
So in the chat, Dark House says that apparently she already got debuffed. So maybe we missed that.
She didn't win.
I don't know.
When that card get dropped?
Tell us where to look, because I would like to know.
So I do think that the reason she is in fact so strong is because her 3 superpowers synergize insanely well together.
Yeah.
Not only does she have average defenses that we see regularly on both 3s, 4s, and 5s.
Yeah.
I mean, Thanos has those defenses. She can bodyguard, has a reroll, and counts blanks as successes if she's within range 2. So those 3 very specifically make her a very beefy boy to make sure that something that you spent significantly more threat on for your roster is safe and is taken care of. I don't think that she is an absolute powerhouse as far as the damage she can do, but the fact that Vibranium Spear reliably gains power at range 4, you kind of don't even care if it does anything. You're getting 1 power a turn. You Vibranium Spear Blast once a turn to have the power to be able to bodyguard, and you're good.
Right. So even if like they toned it down so Vibranium Spear Blast was only range 3 instead of 4, which is crazy high. Like, I think little tiny tweaks like that is all she needs to be in line with the other 2s. Like, there's a reason why she is the most popular character taken there.
Oh, Dark Cow. No, who you're thinking of is Shuri. Shuri's the one with the push. She did get a slight.
Yeah, she got
a slight nerf.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, I'd like to see Okoye toned down just a tiny bit.
Yeah. I don't think you're out of place there. I think the data shows very specifically that.
Do you think it's going to even make a difference though? Like, could they, let's say they do that, do you think it's enough to convince people not to take her anymore? I don't.
They would have to pretty drastically change one of those 3 superpowers that synergize her really well. Making bodyguard cost 3, I feel, is probably an extreme change, because that's a 50% increase, especially, and that really messes with her reliability. Because right now it is not difficult. Move, Vibranium Spear Blast, bodyguard every turn. That is what she does. So messing with that a little bit, so you either have to be in position already to Vibranium Spear Blast twice, or potentially sacrifice that move or take damage.
Yeah, that might be a little too much.
Your
Yeah.
other option would be to just raise her up to a 3 threat. I mean, that's also a super easy fix, is bump her up to a 3 threat, and then she's hitting she already hits 3s anyway. She has
Kinda.
defenses of 3s already.
I think I like the idea of her as a 2. I think we need more 2s in general to fill those spots in squads. But I just think just turn her down a tiny bit.
You don't. There are a ton of 2s, just nobody ever takes them because of Okoye.
Exactly.
So make her a 3.
Then no one will
and then
take any
nobody's
3s.
going to take any 3s. Yeah,
It'd be Okoye and Lizard. That's the only people think will take for 3.
To be fair, people would take 2s a lot more, but when they tried to, they get called little bitch boys in their group chat.
When you only are taking 2s.
I like 2s. I like bodies on the field.
Yeah, I know, because you keep running the same list every week. It makes sense. I get it.
You know how I know you don't watch the stream? I am not completely against her becoming a 3. I think she's balanced pretty much as a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a slightly lackluster one, but better a non-French vanilla 3 than a chocolate peanut butter 2.
And one of the characters that I kind of wanted to go over when we compare the two is Winter Soldier is a 3, and he does not hit, he does not block, he does not do anything as well as Okoye does, pound for pound.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's got some neat stuff going on, but I think he's definitely at the lower end of 3s. I know Danny loves him anymore. She's really turned around on Bucky in general after the show.
And when we come around, I'll pick Winter Soldier. But reading over his card again, he does have some stuff in there that are really good. They just need. There's something. Anyway,
he needs a slight tune-up.
There's 1 or 2 things I could think that they could add. Go ahead.
If you make his movement Winter Soldier's.
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Let's
God.
give you your turn.
I was trying to give you your turn. I was trying to be nice. As per usual, I'm nice and I get screamed at.
It becomes more and more realistic each week that when Chuck tells us stories about him being screamed at or berated, that maybe the screaming is just hey.
I thought there was going to be something else there, and was it.
That was it.
Maybe sometimes it's, people's wives messaging me through their accounts because they're mad at me because I'm being nice and being a friend. It could also be that too. Tim, who'd you choose?
What?
Shout out to that situation.
Yeah.
So for me, someone that I feel needs a very, very tiny tweak is Cyclops.
Cyclope.
And it is not anything on Cyclops' card outside of his affiliation ability.
Do we know if the X-Men make it? Because it's the first 50 characters, Anthony, not the first 50 boxes. And there's multiple characters in a box.
Right.
Including the first, there's
so it
12
is,
in the core set?
So it is CP41. And no, it's only 10 in the core box.
So that's 10 right there.
But you have terrain and stuff that has come out in the same things. So with it being CP41, yeah, probably.
Right,
probably
because
not in
most
the first
boxes
50.
had 2 characters.
Right.
They did not come out in order, though. CP41 came out before a lot of the 30s.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, are we talking about the first 50 actual released?
That's what
Are we talking about the first 50 released in America? Are we talking about the first 50 released in Australia? Because I don't even know if they have 50 models.
Oh
yet.
yeah, because we didn't get Enchantress and Asgardians and Angela until well after the X-Men. So
Right, we haven't even had them for a year yet.
right.
Well, we haven't had X-Men either, but
So assuming that Cyclops is in the first 50 and is one of the ones that could potentially be tweaked, I think, and just in general, there are so few affiliations that really need an overhaul. Guardians of the Galaxy is certainly one that we talked about last week. I think X-Men Blue is a second one.
But now that we know Spider-Foes is so much better now.
Correct.
Those are the 2 that need the microscope on them.
And because we know that that's even on the table of something they're willing to do with the Green Goblin update last week.
Right.
I have 2 potential changes for this.
Ooh, 2.
2. So you have some options here. For the X-Men Blue affiliation leadership ability, I think you change it to one of the following. A flat 1 power reduction on all spenders.
Wow.
That's too much.
Just spenders, not superpowers, only attack spenders.
So just attacks cost
1 less.
1 less power.
Yep. To a minimum of 1.
Okay. Unless they already cost 0, I assume.
Well, yes. Yeah, it doesn't make them cost more, I suppose.
I mean, you just have to work out the semantics of that, but I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
So I think it's that, or you cap the amount that it can be reduced by and make it automatic for every other affiliated character within range 2, potentially, or 3. So it gets reduced for every other ally in X-Men Blue within, say, range 2, potentially, to nerf it a little bit and not make it overwhelming, to a minimum of 1. Literally the same thing it is now, but you don't have to share the power.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Because Cyclops, in the comics, he's as good of a field leader as Captain America. There's times where Captain America's been impressed with the ideas Cyclops comes up with when he tells people what to do and they follow it. Like, he knows how to analyze a situation and break it down. There was one awesome moment where they're in the Savage Land.
And he starts breakdancing.
Yes. And he's just standing there. They're like hanging out and they're watching like dinosaurs fight. And he's just standing there watching and somebody comes up to him. They're like, what are you thinking about? And he's like, oh, I just came up with 14 different ways that I can take down that Triceratops. And I was like, this is the field leader that we should see more. This is the awesome Cyclops that people like from the last 15 years or so. Not, you know, the 90s Cyclops that he's the card here, the model is based off of from the TV show where he was just like, yeah, go get killed by Sentinels, Morph. Good job.
So I'm going to completely ignore that comment. But I have a third that I just came up with off the top of my head, potential. Once per turn, for the cost of 1, if you have 2 X-Men Blue characters within the range of the attack that is being used, you can increase the range by 1.
I feel like you're getting real complicated. I think what his leadership needs is get rid of the within 3. Anybody on the field could give up power to give somebody power to do an attack. It's fixed. Done.
That would be the simplest and most straightforward way to do it, but I wanted to overcomplicate it because I also think that's a valid response. Is
Overcomplicating it?
no,
Because that's what Cyclops would do. He would just overcomplicate it.
right. He'd be like, "Oh, I had a motorcycle, now it's gone. Here's my jacket. For whatever reason, I'm wearing a single piece of spandex, but I also wear this leather jacket over it." No, I think that's also very valid.
That's
Is
been
just
my
take
biggest
take the range
complaint
off
with
of it,
him.
and you're good to go.
Like the one time I used X-Men Blue, it was just, if only I didn't have to be within 3, because then I could actually afford this power, but I have to be spread out because of the mission. Like, how often do you have a crisis where you're like, other than Gamma shelters, most of them are pretty spread out. You're not going to have
Demons
your guys
Downtown.
3. Demons Downtown's another good one for that. So we're not that kind of player. We don't build our rosters and squads around particular things to take. I understand if you know you want to use Cyclops, you choose those crises and hope that you get them when you draw them randomly. But I think he needs to be more. He just needs to be more versatile. That's like what Cyclops does. So just get rid of the range requirement, and I think it's fixed.
Here's the other thing I could potentially see as me wanting and nothing that he needs whatsoever. I want fast draw on him in addition to quick draw. So Hawkeye's ability, where he can spend 2 if he's targeted from outside of range 3 to get an attack first.
I would like to see that instead of quick draw. I think quick draw is great.
So I do think I would replace that hands down all day. Quick draw for fast draw.
I
like that there was a ranged martial prowess, and if there was anyone to have it, I do think it would probably be Cyclops.
It does bite me in the ass when I play against Cyclops. I never seem to get to use it when I have Cyclops, but it always works against me. But I feel like fast draw I never get to use with Hawkeye either. I use Hawkeye regularly, and I rarely get fast draw.
So the thing, and I feel that this could potentially be changed on fast draw, is that it should really be anything outside of range 2. That is why, because there are so few attacks that are range 4 or higher that the ability to even use fast draw is pretty limited in itself.
Agreed.
You will routinely run into entire squads that don't even fit the requirements to use fast draw.
The one I used on Monday, everybody had range 2 and 3 attacks. That's all I had.
Yep.
I don't think Hawkeye needs an uptick, but I do agree with that to make fast draw ever usable.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what I had for Cyclops. Otherwise, he's beautiful. He's a golden boy. I love Cyclops. Give him a motorcycle, make him long movement.
Why is his motorcycle faster than Ghost Rider's?
It's the same.
Oh, because he's on a would he be on the large base like Ghost Rider? Ghost Rider has medium movement.
Right, but
He gets along when he does Hell on Wheels.
Right, listen. So there's two things Ghost Rider's known for. None of them are riding a motorcycle.
So
Cyclops is at the top of the Marvel pyramid of people that ride motorcycles.
What if he got a tactics card that was like Cyclops' motorcycle? That Cyclops could use it, and he gets to move long movement. But then immediately, as long as Wolverine's within range 2, also then gets to make.
So I think movement. I like where your head's at, and I'm going to tweak it just slightly. So yes, Cyclops gets a tactics card, where as long as he is the team leader, it refreshes each round, so he can use his motorcycle each round. It costs 1, long movement, doesn't take an action.
I love it, but
Wolverine gets a new card similar to Deadpool's, where it depends on all the other people in there. So,
can his card be called "I go where I want to go"?
It's just simply called "I'm the best there is at what I do, and what I do is get overused." And you have a couple different options. If he's within range 2 of Cyclops, he can use his motorcycle ability. If he's within 2 of Jean Grey, he loses 2 power. If he's within 2, well, because he's
simping
distracted.
too hard.
Yeah, because he's kind of a simp. Yeah. If he's within 2 of Deadpool, Deadpool takes 2 damage. If he's within
something about their competition, that's good.
And if he's within 2 of Colossus, he can move 2. He gets a free pounds.
Like a baby fastball special?
Yeah, a baby fastball special that doesn't require
It's
them to roll fewer. Yeah.
It's softball throw fastball
special. Where he can be placed within 2 if he lands within 1 of anyone.
I love this card.
Yeah.
I would also like to see maybe it just be Cyclops gets to spend 2, but then Wolverine just gets to make a movement instead.
That one, I go where I want to go.
Yeah. So you know what? Instead of adding a new card to Wolverine, I think you just do that on Cyclops' tactics card, where unless there is an enemy Wolverine within 2, and then they can spend 2 and get that movement instead.
So is this going to be new Patreon content? We're going to create our own tactics cards.
Yep.
Crisis.
Yeah, let's do that. I already have a pool of crises for us to use around a bunch of batshit canon stuff from the comics, so we might as well.
Like the Moon Knight ketamine one.
Yeah, that's a very great example of that. Yes.
Yeah, we need to start making these and playing them.
We'll just start.
Yeah, we should probably get the models first, though.
I would love the Moon Knight model. Absolutely.
Yeah, fair.
Killing me.
All right. Well, let's see how you guys crap all over this one. Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Is my pick. Let's go over the card real quick. Stamina 5, flips to 6 on his injured side, medium movement, size 2, 3 threat. Defenses 3-3-2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd necessarily say I want to bring him up to 3s across the board, being a 3 threat.
I think the 2 in Mystic is narrative.
Yeah, it fits.
Because it came out at the time we all thought the blue defense was mental.
Right.
It's one of those that I get why it's that, but I don't like it.
So I did. Let's go over the rest of the card. And I kind of came up with maybe not necessarily something for his Mystic necessarily, but to make his energy and his defense a little bit better. Assault rifle. It's range 5, strength 4. I mean, he is a 3. Strength 4. He is a 3 threat, so like the 4 kind of makes sense
because it's range 5. Do you think that you would swap those 2 numbers? Do you think you would make it range 4 and 5 strength instead?
I mean, I constantly do. Yeah. I constantly think it's a range 4 strength 5 builder.
Yeah.
But he does get bleed on a wild.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Mm-hmm. I almost would rather say I'd rather see it 5 and 5, but he just gets 1 energy after the turn.
Ooh, that's
a good attack. Yeah.
That'd be tough.
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't know if I like it as his only way to generate energy outside.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But the only reason why I'm relatively okay with being a 4 is because how often he can do it with Red Fury and Got Your Back.
Yeah.
I think is the only reason I can think of why they made it only 4. Otherwise, as a 3 threat, yeah, it probably should be a 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, Red Fury, strength 7, costs 4, range 2. After this attack is resolved, the character's pushed away small, then he immediately makes a rifle assault attack targeting that character. I think time and time again we've seen, at least I know for me, that's actually pretty good because Red Fury always bombs. I just always have terrible rolls on my Red Fury.
Yeah.
So I always do kind of need to rely on that assault. But you're never going to get your energy back. You know, like you're never going to get what you spent on it.
I mean, you could.
You would have to roll really, really well.
Yeah.
I have seen Dana use Red Fury to really good success.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
She gets really lucky with that, where she just destroys somebody.
And I'm fine with Red Fury being that. Maybe drop it down to a 3 power, but even then.
I think dropping it down to a 3 power is.
But you're getting 2 attacks for the price of 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because and
you get that push. You get an auto push. Yeah. I almost argue if maybe instead of a push, we make it a throw.
I think I'd rather see it go down to 3 power, but bump the strength down to 6 with those other abilities.
Yeah, that'd be okay too.
I'd rather see
I'd be
just
okay with that.
so we could do it more often.
Yeah.
Right. Hydra Tactics. This allows him to choose an ally character within range 2 and be placed within range 1. I don't know why I don't use this more often.
I always forget he has this.
Well, I think, and that's pretty much my thing. Medusa has a slightly better version of this, but granted, she is a 4 threat. But I kind of would like to see it maybe just brought up to the same as Medusa's, allowing him to either him bounce or the person that's within a target bounce with him
too,
as like he's just grabbing him, pulling him behind him or something to that effect. Mm-hmm. I almost thought about maybe doing a situation where you make it a 4 energy. He can do it and then immediately make an attack. Immediately make an assault rifle. Like bump it up to make it expensive.
Yeah.
But he essentially can jump in the way of somebody and then start gunning, giving like cover fire.
He jumps out from behind cover and raises, that swoof move.
Do you know what he could use?
No, tell me.
Throw grenade bounce in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think
the same as Dominoes?
Fits thematically, yeah.
I can see that.
Range 4, strength 4, 1 power, adds incinerate.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like to maybe see that.
Maybe even say incinerate in a wild. I'd be fine with that. Make it a little bit different because he does that would give him kind of a lot of things going on for a 3, but
I'd almost like to see a situation where he has like on a wild he can put one of these conditions on. So make it the same thing.
Yeah.
But on or maybe make it a double wild. Something weird like that where he can pick incinerate, poison, or stun maybe. So like it's like he threw like a stun grenade. You know what I mean?
Like a frag. Yeah. So you know what? I think you do grenade bounce. You take out the incinerate component completely, and you add stun to it, and boom, you have something that's really thematic as far as
I like that a lot.
Call of Duty guy going in there throwing a frag or not a
stabbing.
Frag. I'm sorry.
Concussion.
Little jabs.
Yeah. What am I thinking of in Call of Duty? Throwing a
no idea.
Flashbang.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking of.
There you go. Flashbang grenade.
You know what would be kind of cool if he had, I don't know if a spender, but make it a, okay, I just came up with this. It's a flashbang grenade. It's a superpower. Costs 3. Picks a target within range 4 of him.
Yeah.
They cannot target anything that is unless it is within range 1 till their next activation.
Okay.
So like essentially they've been blind. Like the flashbang goes off. It only targets one person.
Like reverse stealth.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, like they have to be within range 1 or maybe range 2, but they have to be within range 1 or 2 to be able to target anybody with an attack.
So legitimately, I like that as just a flat condition that we should see on other stuff too. Like add a blinded token where you can't target people outside of range 2.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's a strong, seems like a powerful condition. But it's good.
Against some people, against crossbones, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
He's immune to slow and blind.
Right. You can't take his eyes or legs away.
He's so broken.
And then of course
Drax. It doesn't affect Drax at all. You know what I mean?
Doesn't he have one that's range 3?
No.
Well, I could see a situation where they would make it a range 1 instead of a range 2. Make it a range 1. So, it's like essentially you're just kind of like blind
I think
swinging.
that's too strong. Like as far as a generic.
Well, what if the caveat is at the end of your activation, the token goes away.
It just goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to do it. He also has Got Your Back. It's 2. If someone is dazed or KO'd, he immediately gets to make a assault rifle attack against the...
When you remember to use that,
So good.
it is pretty okay.
It's pretty good, but it's still like they got to be within range 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's good. I don't know. I'd kind of like to maybe just see where he just gets to do it. Maybe not within range 5, or again, make that assault rifle a 5.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's a he could possibly also get his energy back from it. You know what I mean? Like something like that. And then of course Rogue Agent, which at the time was revolutionary for the game. This was the first time we'd seen it, where he counts towards your squad build.
Yeah. I think it's still great. I mean, we see Taskmaster get a ton of play specifically because he has it.
Right. And he's just so much more, and he is just so much more durable.
Right.
And then
Do we see a Taskmaster update actually to give his shield throw up to the same point that new Captain America?
It should be. It should be the same as Sam's at least.
Right.
Because he's not superhuman like Steve, so it shouldn't be as strong.
Right.
But make it the same as Sam.
Isn't Steve and Sam's the same now?
Steve has more dice.
Oh.
And I don't think
I don't
Sam
know.
can push with his.
Yeah, I thought that was the whole thing. Is he
Yeah.
got the push, and
I'm pretty certain they updated Steve's to match Sam's.
yeah.
Well, no, they up
Outside
they
of adding
ups-
the extra dice.
Well, they up Steve's to be able to push up to size 3 instead of size 2.
That's his
because
shield
he's-
slam, not his throw.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was.
Dummy.
Does his strike have a push? There were 2 things that changed to size 3. Now I gotta look at it.
Yes, his strike had a push.
Good thing
Or
about his computer.
strike had a push and his shield slam had a throw.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking.
His shield throw, though, was just strength 4, which is now strength 5, and I believe also pushes similar to Sam's.
Anyway, then he
Or
has
generates power, sorry.
he has Spetniv training too. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah.
But this is a thing I constantly forget. This character may reroll 1 die when either attacking or being attacked by a character that is within range 1.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think easy fix there is you just make that all the time.
make that well,
Okoye has it, why doesn't he?
But
right.
I was just saying, this is what they should change Okoye's to. They should just flip their abilities there.
Oh, yeah.
make it get rid of the within range and he just has it all the time,
Mm-hmm.
which would then make his defenses better. Or play something into the metal arm. Like if he gets targeted by a physical or energy attack, he can spend 1 energy or 2 energy to add an additional defense die.
To represent him blocking.
Yeah, like him
the arm.
essentially blocking with his arm.
That I like that a lot.
Like just something that makes him a little bit more durable. Make it still have his weakness be Mystic. That's fine, but it makes him just that little bit more durable. Especially, my other thought is to make him a little bit more worth taking is to give him a bodyguard.
Give him a feel no pain on a 6-up. You know what I mean? You roll the die to see where you get hit. Is it left arm, right arm, chest, legs, or head?
Here we go,
If
too
you roll
complicated.
if you roll that 5, which is his right arm,
How about let's get real wild? Let's reduce his stamina to 4 and 5. Reduce it by 1 on either side. Make him a 2. Done.
I think you could reduce him by 2, and he's the way he is, and he'd still be okay. Or just bring him down to 5/5 if you just wanted to do that.
you know what? So I don't want to get... So I think that's good as far as wildness goes. But as another character that has frequently made use of motorcycles,
Oh no.
Here we
I
go.
think you give him a motorcycle tactics card that he can use to move long.
Ow, sorry. No, shut up.
He rode motorcycles in the first 2 movies he
I
was
don't
in.
care. What is your fascination with the motorcycle?
Oh, they're really rad.
You sell your
For a guy who never plays Ghost Rider, that's weird.
I've played Ghost Rider before.
Once.
Yeah.
Once when the
And he
model-
gained 0 power. He did 0 damage on
because
any
you
of his
don't play
attacks.
him well because he's a 5 threat. I don't understand because you take him once and then you could take a bunch of 2s and I wouldn't call you a bitch boy. I don't understand why you just don't opt to do things.
I feel that's exactly what you would do,
No,
actually.
if you ran the list that I've literally been telling you to do, which is unaffiliated Ghost Rider with a bunch of 2s, so we could actually see what that looks like since I'm not allowed to play anymore, I would be like, Tim, that's a great idea. I'm really glad that you came up with it originally and didn't steal it from anybody else.
All right, this week against Danny, I am playing Ghost Rider with a bunch of 2s.
Wow, we just played Ghost Rider this week. Oversaturation.
You know, Ghost Rider should get an ability similar to Cyclops, where it's like a
Hit and
tactics
run.
card where once a turn he can spend one to use his motorcycle and move along.
Anyway,
All
all right.
right.
I was having fun, but not anymore. Dan, who's your other character you chose?
So one other one I want to talk about toning down a tiny bit.
This guy just bringing in the Nerf bat.
Just a little bit. It's a little tiny Nerf bat, just like a little boop on your nose.
Yeah, I swear to God, if you say bullseye, we're done. Like as friends and
I wasn't
professionally.
planning on saying anything about Bullseye today.
He will cause a breach of
I
contract.
think he's perfectly mediocre the way he is. Medusa.
dumb.
She's
You're
widely
stupid.
accepted
Next.
as the best 4, so she needs to tone down a little bit.
Whoa. Can you pull up?
Yeah, you know Ultron's a 4, right?
So I
Well, no. Like, let's have a real conversation about this for a quick. If you pull up the whatchamacallits, the Xavier protocols, she is not ranked nearly as high as most 4s.
maybe not anymore. True. I didn't look at what she was.
Well,
then.
Enchantress is arguably the best 4.
Okay.
So
fair.
that's why I say that.
But I want to see Medusa tone down just a tiny bit. Things like her braid bash. If she deals damage and the target is size 2 or less, she can push it small.
I think that's actually a very valid change.
I
Yep.
think that's all. She doesn't need much more than that. I think it's just too much with size 3. She shouldn't be pushing the big guys around with her hair. Like, I get that's her thing, but her braid bash is already so good. Like, I'm okay with the push. She can, like, spin you around, do whatever with it. I'm okay with the flurry. I'm not a huge fan with how those interact, where you do it twice and then you can double push somebody after the attacks.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of that, but I think just changing it to size 2 that she can push, I think I'm pretty okay with the rest of it.
Yeah, it's honestly almost just a stealth nerf because it's really not going to affect her on her day-to-day for the most part because she's mostly is pushing 2 because the majority of characters are in fact size 2.
Yeah.
It will matter a lot for the slower characters that are a little bit bigger. When Hulk gets double pushed, that's
Well, you
actually
can't
pretty
push him
legitimate.
anyway because he's size 4.
Oh,
But
what
like
I meant
Venom,
was
Omega Red, Lizard, Kingpin,
Hulk.
not Black Dwarf, he's too big. Who else is size 3? Ghost Rider, he's not small.
Venom.
But
Hurts Venom real bad.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, Venom it could do too.
He says 3.
Oh yeah, Venom.
So
Size
I
3.
think that's pretty much it. Like,
I'd recommend Venom.
I'm okay with it being strength 5, range 3. I just think is that little tiny bit.
Have you thought about Venom?
So I think that's a great change. The other thing that I could potentially see on there is make that push on a wild.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, or on a hit like rapid fire is.
Okay.
So you're gonna get it most of the time, but not necessarily.
Or if damage is done.
It already is if this attack deals damage.
Yeah. So they've already listened to me. Thanks, Dallas. The other thing I could see for her, and this is kind of a minor change. One of the things that we know about Medusa is that she rides motorcycles. So she should
All right,
probably,
Chuck. What's your next character?
probably have a tactics card that allows her to move long.
Tim, will you mute your mic?
Who's your next character?
Oh, my next one?
Yeah, you
Have you done your second yet? Yeah, we started with it. It was Winter Soldier, Tim.
I was
So-
just trying to skip his next turn because he just keeps going back. to the
No,
damn
because then I'm
motorcycle
gonna
thing.
get messages and like later on like, I was really hurt that you guys skipped me. I hurt my feelings. I'm gonna hear a lot about
Oh,
that
this
on
is
a
the
later
big
show.
one.
So this is my big
bad.
overhaul.
That's my
and
trophy.
This
Be
is
careful with
for the machine, the myth, the legend, Ultron. So
Okay, before we get into all of it, I don't think he's that bad.
I do.
I played
And
him,
here's why: because I've never played him. I don't even own the
yeah,
model.
fair.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
fair.
I played him 2 weeks ago and he was very underwhelming.
well, play him better, Dan.
Oh, have you tried that though?
I didn't.
Okay.
I will next time when I don't use him.
So
What if they knock him down to a 3? Would that fix it?
yes,
Oh,
Next.
he'd be great for a 3.
he'd be a solid 3.
All right, next.
If they knock him down to a 3 though, drop the defenses to 3s across the board, and yes,
I don't think they're going to change threats on it.
I don't think so
I'd be
either, and
shocked.
I kind of hope they don't.
I hope they don't also.
But here's my rework for Ultron. Keep his stats exactly the same.
Okay.
Increase the strike to strength 5.
That was my first thing, yeah.
Energy blast.
Yeah,
give
It's kind of ridiculous that he's a 4 and he doesn't have a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say get rid of Energy Blast?
Nope. I said keep Energy Blast as is.
Oh, I thought you said Energy Blast, get rid of it. I was like, what?
Swap the builder components on them. Make Energy Blast after the attack is resolved, he only gains 1. And swap the damage dealt to the strike. But add Shock to the Energy Blast. Metallic Fury is okay. I'm going to leave that completely as is.
Yeah, I think...
Is it a 2?
It is.
Oh, it is range 3.
It is range 3 for 3, and you can choose it to be physical or energy.
I feel like it needs...
Knock it down to a 2.
I think it needs something else to cost...
Knock it down to
power.
a 2, but make it a strength 6.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay with that.
And
That's like one more than a strike, though. I don't know. Bleed is just not that big of a deal on a wild, on a 3-cost spender.
yeah,
I feel like there should be something else there. I don't know what. Maybe because it's Metallic Fury. Does that just represent him just like going crazy and scratching at you a whole bunch?
I think.
Not
Well,
sure
it's
what
range
that
3, so I
represents.
assume it's unleashing shrapnel and energy blast and a whole bunch of stuff. He does have that kinetic field generator.
Yeah, no, he takes a bunch of his robots and just throws them at you.
So maybe add a stun to it as well with the bleed or
So-
something. I don't know.
So here is the big overhaul. This is the new power. It costs 1, potentially 2. When he is targeted by an attack, you roll the opponent rolls a die. If that die becomes a failure, you accidentally target one of his decoys, one of his drones, and the attack fails. 1/8 of a
You see
chance.
the whole thing again? I wasn't listening.
So, you know how Ultron always rides a motorcycle, right? So, an ability that costs 1 or 2, it's a reactive. He can only use it once per turn. When he is targeted by an attack, he can spend 1 or 2, and the opponent rolls a die. If they roll a failure, their attack fails. As it hits a decoy.
He needs something defensive other than immune to bleed and poison. He's immune to poison. He should be 5 threat. No, I like that. I think it might be a bit harsh, but it's a 1 in 8 chance.
Yeah.
And I like that it's a gamble that you have to spend power. I definitely think at least 2
Yeah.
to nullify an attack that could be huge. But yeah, I like that. He needs more defensive tech for sure. Because what he has is not great.
And if they just threw that in there, I don't think you change him at all. I think that's the... so here's the other potential change I could make. This is a tactics card. Drop down Age of Ultron.
Oh, I was just going to say, what if we dropped Age of Ultron from 8 to 4?
If they dropped it from 8 to 4, he needs 0 changes.
Yep, I agree.
Make it like Ghost Riders, except obviously better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is tough because Ghost Rider's a 5. And
Yeah.
you have to sacrifice somebody.
Right, but then you get Ghost Rider back. You know what I mean? Versus Ultron back.
Right, a character that's really good if you're not a bitch boy. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Dan, who's your other character?
Hold on, one last thing.
Okay.
So, Ultron already has a pretty heavy tactics card tax, in that you do feel like you need to bring Age of Ultron with you. Not to compound that, but a new tactics card that costs 2, where he can ride his motorcycle once per turn and give him a long movement.
There you go.
I feel makes sense. He's
You feel
made of
better.
metal.
Oh my god.
So,
There it is. You brought that on yourself, Dan. All right.
Sorry, friends of ours just had a baby, and I'm excited about the name, so I have to share gifs real quick in the
Where are we at?
chat.
Oh, my character? Oh, so I'm going to switch it up. Do you guys know who Venom is?
Who?
oh, Venom.
Yeah.
He's
So,
size
hard.
3.
yeah. So I actually was toying around with an idea, and I kind of would like to see Thorlash get in the chat, which he's not, and tell me how I'm
Yeah.
silly. But this is what I would like. Character real quick. 4, 2, 3. I say don't change defenses. I'm fine with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
7, 6. I kind of like to see that flipped. Make him 6, 7.
6, 7. Okay.
Still keep him a 4. Still keep him a short movement. I'm fine with that too because he's on a bigger base. What I would like to see instead,
So before we get into this, are we buffing or nerfing him?
we are going to
Or are we adjusting?
adjusting. We're going to make his character just a little different.
Okay.
So we take web snare, we lower it to a 3.
To range 3?
Yes, to range 3 instead of range 4, but we still keep the medium movement.
Okay.
Okay.
Reason being that we give him a modified version of web swing
Okay.
that he can spend 3 energy to put himself within range 2 of his current location.
Oh, okay.
Because he's a big boy.
A big boy with a place.
Yes. What I would call
like
it
that.
is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 forward, and then he goes blah and he jumps.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The wave of venom thing.
Yeah, the big gnarring mouth.
Yeah.
That was a great move.
So doing something like that instead. Still limiting it that he can only do it once per turn. You make it 3 instead of 2, so it's a little bit more expensive, but then you also drop that range, making it 2 because he's on a bigger base. He is limited by his movement. I think that's a fair way to kind of do it.
Yeah.
I also would argue 3/3, but you make it an action.
Okay.
You can
It's-
place within 3, cost 3 power.
But make it an action.
Oof.
So that's still a huge jump.
Yeah, it's a big.
That's still a
lot
huge
of
jump for a
table.
big boy.
Yeah.
Because Amazing Spider-Man can do it too, and he's a 5 threat, and doesn't cost him an action.
I'm okay with a 2 place on a medium base for I think 3 powers.
That I agree.
As a superpower, I like that a lot. And I like how you balance it a little bit with the web snare, reducing that range.
Right.
I
And that was
think
my whole
that's-
plan, was reducing that to 3.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have something else he can spend power on, so he's not just so many snacks into We Are Venom constantly.
Yeah.
Because I find I do that, and I web snare maybe once a game. Otherwise, his power is so many snacks, We Are Venom.
Yep.
I also would say maybe range 3 on his throw instead of range 2.
I could not to completely derail that, and I know where you think I'm going with this, but I guarantee it's not there.
He doesn't own a motorcycle. Okay.
A tactics card
Yeah.
that he can use once that gives him effectively exactly what you said, like a pounce, where he does do that web like slingshot thing, and he moves himself forward, move it small, it's a pounce, he doesn't take damage from it, so he can get that extra move without it costing an action or whatever.
Okay.
Probably cost 2 or 3, and he's big. You know what I mean? So
Right.
him colliding with someone and not taking damage is actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And certainly not something he could do all the time.
Yeah,
besides
I think-
3, ouch.
And the thing is, like, I don't
Granted,
really...
he has a heavy tactics card tax because there's
Right.
lethal protector, there's unlikely friends or unlikely allies or whatever.
yeah.
Him and
like
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Deadly allies, something like that.
I think it's
No, it's
Unlikely
unlikely
Allies.
allies, something like that.
And granted, we don't know if Venom or Let There Be Carnage are going to be considered in the MCU.
Right.
But opening scene of the first Venom movie, he is in fact on a motorcycle to 1 tactics card, long movement, once per game. You know what I mean?
You're
It fits.
fired.
It fits.
All right. Anything else?
I got one last one that is the tiniest tweak I want to buff this time on Thor. Because he's kind
Yeah,
of
I heard
to
it. I
the
heard he's
bottom
not good enough.
of 5s. I don't think he needs much.
He's the
because
bottom of 5s.
That's what I've been hearing in chat and like
No,
the
Ghost
chat of
Rider's
our
there.
games. I loved Ghost Rider, but I think he's pretty much fine. He needs immune to shock though. Why is he not immune to shock?
Because
He's the god of thunder.
He can be hurt by his own. Jesus Christ.
He needs immune to shock. That's about it.
But his ability allows him to shake automatically, so I don't think he needs it. Yeah,
I don't matter. It still
Tim,
costs
go
a
ahead.
power. I
So-
think he should be immune to shock. Done.
So one other thing that
He's
I think
immune to his own lightning, not other people's lightning.
Sure, he is.
that you could do to Thor that would actually have a lot of synergy with, is it for Asgard that's his charge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would have a significant amount of energy there. If we all remember the 1963 toy that was Thor
He's
on a
googling stuff right now.
motorcycle, give
Get
him
me
a
out of
long
control.
give him a long movement once per turn as a tactics card, and I feel like he is back in hot competition.
All right.
You're the worst.
Are we done?
Can we be? Because I'm sick of hearing about motorcycles and
That's
long
fair.
movement.
True believers, thanks for joining us once again. Of course, we have been the Professional Casual Network presents. Wait, did I roll a wild? The Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog for Chuck. That's Tim over there and Dan. We say goodbye. Stay safe and remember, leave the blood on the bracket. I gotta pee. Bye.
Bye.
Motorcycles.
Just had to get one more in.
I am literally gonna pee my pants.
And I peed